Saturday morning isn't the only time for cartoons. Tune in to this month's animated assortment of pop culture collectibles and gear, featuring Rick and Morty, Pinky and the Brain, Samurai Jack, and so much more. This month is Tuned In. Hey guys, and happy Fandom Friday. So they've released a new theme for Loot Crate, and I am super excited, especially now that I have all my crates from last year. So good for them. They are moving forward, and I am super excited. As you guys have heard, this month is Tuned In, and they're specifically aiming at cartoons you don't think of when you think Saturday morning. When I saw the list, I'm like, this doesn't resemble the cartoons I remember seeing as a kid. Well, with the exception of Pinky and the Brain. We do the same thing every night. And so we're looking at a list of cartoons that are much more my husband than me. And I'm sure he'll be super excited to get every single piece, and you might be too. So we are going to look at what this month's crate entails. Now, as always, these are not sponsored videos. This is just to get the information out there. It's in benefit of everybody that buys the Loot Crate, especially the year-long Loot Crate. The more people who buy into it, the easier it is for us to get our crates faster, because buying wholesale means you have to get a whole bunch. And if you don't sell the crates, we can't get the crates out. So this is just me passing on information that might be useful for you if you decide that these are things that you are interested in, or these are your fandoms and this sounds really, really cool. I will say so far, almost all the loot I've gotten has been very, very epic, with minor exceptions, and generally it is a super cool company to work with, or buy from for that matter. So looking at February's Loot Crate, so February 2020, I'll get there eventually, guys, it's only the second month. So February's crate is Tuned In, and we're looking at adult cartoons, so they're thinking more animated TV shows as opposed to cartoons. So this is not going to be Dora, this is not going to be the kids' cartoons. These are adult-based cartoons. And the very first one they give us is Rick and Morty. For those of you that don't know, Rick and Morty is a TV show. It's very, very popular right now. It's about a mad, drunk scientist named Rick and his grandson Morty traveling through time and space and getting into epic, epic adventures. I'll be honest, guys, I've only seen bits and pieces of it. My husband has seen it. He says he loves it. I work in a restaurant, and so they had it on in the kitchen. And as I don't work in the kitchen, I work up front, I got to walk in. And as all of y'all know, every time you watch any anime, I don't care what anime it is, there's always that one scene that happens, and that is the scene your parents walk in on. I feel the same way about Rick and Morty, guys. Every time I walked into that kitchen to hand in a slip or do something, I'd be looking at the TV going, what is going on? What drunk monkey wrote this script? Which is probably the basis of the entire appeal. So bear with me, guys. I just haven't really gotten into that one. It does look super cool, and it has a very big following, so I'm sure it'll do fine, even if I don't watch it. Now, we have seen Rick and Morty before, and they have their own full crate subscription. So I'm sure that we will find plenty of merch to fill this crate, especially for Tuned In. The last piece we got was actually one of the action figures, and it was Morty shooting something into another dimension. It was a very well done action figure. I don't know if it's an action figure. It was a standee. So it was super cool, and I'm kind of excited to see what else they can find for this. The next one is Samurai Jack, and this is another one where I swear we've had this fandom before. Samurai Jack is, of course, a samurai from that period who gets sent forward in the future by an evil sorcerer, and he has to find his way back in time to stop the plots of evil. Again, this is one I should watch and just haven't gotten into. I'm sorry, guys, there is a lot of media to cover, and I'm just falling behind watching Fairy Tail again. So, it is what it is. I know I need to get into this. These are from the makers of Dexter's Lab, and Dexter's Lab was one of mine from when I actually watched cartoons on Saturday mornings. So, it's probably super cool. It's definitely something I need to watch. Also has a whole bunch of fandom and a whole bunch of merch. So this is another one where adult cartoons, this is another favorite in the pop culture scene. The next one they gave us is Pinky and the Brain, and y'all, I love Pinky and the Brain. I have loved that since I was the right age for that show. I remember watching Animaniacs on Saturday morning, so Pinky and the Brain has a special place in my heart. Pinky and the Brain, of course, are two mice in a science lab who are trying to take over the world and fail every night. So every night, Brain, what are we doing tonight? The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world. And it's the stupidest plots you've ever heard. And none of, like, they're brilliant schemes, I guess, where, like, I know there was one where they sent out a signal through the TV to, like, control the masses, and there's like, these giant themes. It's like, you can get out of your cage to put on these plots. Why don't you just go away? But apparently Brain wants to take over the world. I secretly think Pinky is the evil genius and Brain is just not quite all there. And of course, every morning they return to their cage to be lab rats again, or lab mice. So, Pinky the Brain is a cult classic. Everyone that I know of has always loved Pinky and the Brain. So, this shouldn't be too hard to find something of Pinky and the Brain that'll be super cool, and I can't wait to see it. Alright, so the last one they gave us was on the website, was Adult Swim, and that one's just like, okay, so that's just a list of adult cartoons, right? Adult Swim, like, I remember Adult Swim from college, and I'm sure it's just gotten bigger. So, Robot Chicken, Family Guy, American Dad, Futurama, sorry, I'm consulting my list here, Space Ghost, Ventura Bros, Aqua Teens, Squidbillies, C-Lab, Harvey Birdman, and the Boondocks. It's just a few of them. They could easily find another one. We've seen Futurama before. I'm sure Family Guy and American Dad has merch. This is not really a theme so much as a giant list of things it could be. So what do you guys think? What other fandoms need to be in this crate in Tuned In? What are some of your favorite adult cartoon shows? And I'm talking like shows that are animated, not adult cartoons. So don't do that to me, people. So what are some adult animated shows that should be in this thing that are just something that are super cool to you? Honestly, I don't have a whole lot more because they've given us already so much. However, I do have a spoiler for you, so if you don't want to know the spoiler for February's crate, you need to turn me off and come back at a later date. But they did release one item of merch, as they are wont to do on the Loot Crate site, and that is the t-shirt. I know for a fact that the t-shirt is going to be from Rick and Morty, so it is going to be something Rick and Morty based, and I'll be honest, I don't know what exactly it means. It kind of almost looks like a periodic table on a t-shirt. So I'm sure my husband will explain it to me when we get it, and he'll know exactly what it is, but I've got nothing. So if you want to see that, make sure to go onto their website and check it out. It looks super cool. I've loved pretty much all of their t-shirts. They are nice, they are cozy, and they generally fit well, so that is always good. Just so you guys remember, you have until the 19th of February 2020 at 9 p.m. Pacific time to get registered for the next crate. Now, I'm hoping and praying they're starting to get crates out at a reasonable time. I did get chilled already, so I already have December's crate. Now that they've released February, I should be getting shipping for January soon, so I am super excited to see if they start coming more regularly now that they've been taken over. As you guys will see in the next coming crates, there were some snafus when it came to crates getting to me, but they did actually ship out everything they said they were going to ship. And when I did have questions, I was able to talk to somebody, and they were actually super nice about it, as long as they were legally allowed to tell me things. If they don't release certain things, that's not on customer service. That's just on what it is. So I know at least one crate was previous to bankruptcy, so there was some snafus. Okay, guys, that is all I have for you this week. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and do all the things. Let me know what you think needs to be in this crate, and I will see you guys next Fandom Friday. Bye.